Well, we're going to have an interesting one, to say the least. I do need to get this back up here. As we said, we were unfortunately a little bit thrown off initially by which game we were going to be on, so my notes are all over the place at the moment. Yeah, no, I do think it's going to be a close one. As I said, I don't think any of the maps that come out are going to heavily favor one team, but just because both of these teams have a fairly wide map pool, they get rid of their insta-bans, which in the case of Heroic especially removes a really good map for Spirit. So, yeah, I'm expecting a close one. I do think this series could go either way. I mentioned I'm excited to see how Dexter does. I haven't got to cover this team yet since they had added him. You mentioned we got to see him step in for Sprout and absolutely dominate in a game. So, yeah, the kind of one moment I got to actually cast him, he made an amazing impression. So I'm expecting it here again. But the action's kicking off. We have a B hit coming in. And, well, Stavin on his own, he's going to have to try and do something about this. He wanted to play for the retake, as you can see, but he's been hunted down. And he takes one with him. Mirror is gone. That lurker around second mid also dealt with. And, well, a 5-on-3 into the hands of Heroic as the bomb goes down. So Spirit, stuff after one.
This is where things get very interesting in terms of the bodies that are still up. Chopper trying to deal some damage in the church. He's doing a good job of it. There's a huge kill, but he will falter afterwards. It's all on Dexter, the newest addition to the squad, and already found one. He's an opera. They're always good with the pistols. He's looking for more. Backs off around the coffins, low on health, can't take a long fight, and he will eventually get collected. Cadian puts one between his eyes. Time still to defuse, and they will be A-okay, especially considering he had a kit. So that's a good round for Heroic. A bomb plant there for Spirit, so it's not all disastrous, but Heroic, as you said, strong from the get-go, and they tie it up with a bow on the end.
See, Team Spirit are aware that they needed to try and make the play happen by pushing through and, well, getting some control towards the construction and such, but just not having the numbers, being traded out effectively then by Heroic, and that's who, of course, comes out on top of the opening pistol round. They just had a great start in general. Obviously, only Stavin over and B, he done a fantastic job to be able to get that kill and then stay alive as well, waiting for his teammates. The force buy is in play from Team Spirit. It's not bad. An AK, 3 Galils, and then a Deeg, which at least gives them a few nades to work with. Otherwise, they would have really been lacking in that regard. But obviously, not quite in comparison to the amount of utility that Heroic have either way. They've gone ahead and used that to get the banana control in the early moments, and it does seem like Team Spirit definitely want to approach banana as soon as that smoke fades away. And, well, for now anyway, Heroic haven't actually pushed down, so this is probably the best way to be at the moment. Stavin is in a position where he can get the info early, but he should at least be able to just fall back away then towards the bomb site and just concede the control, just play the advantages that they should have. Are they aware of exactly what they're up against? This has been really slow from Spirit, so probably not. This could catch them. Oh, but the stack, look. Perfect timing.
It could indeed. The stack's well set up. This is going to be problematic. There's just so many bodies here, and of course you're against Spirit, so you kind of expect this sort of a buy to come through. It should be the default. Magix, he does get one. There's a trade there. Damage done, and it comes out heavily against Team Spirit, but they're going to rally back towards B, and this is going to be problematic because Stavin's alone. He spotted one, he can fall. He doesn't have any utility to hold them off, though, so if a fast play comes in, he's not really going to have a rotator to support him. The utility's all on his teammates. Borup will come back with a UMP. He needs to close the gap before he can come through. Magic has one smoke for the cross. There's no flashbang on site. Otherwise, I'd say they could flash him through and he could go with the UMP. Maybe does it himself, but that's going to be a tough ask. Looks like he's going to try and set up a swing from the new box. There's the flashbang. There's the swing. One kill down. Well done. He's trying to buy some time here as Stavin. He will eventually be dug out. And here's the UMP in action, but Cadian spamming through. Does catch one. Bomb will go down with about 5 seconds to spare, but immediately the planter is exterminated, and, well, Borup follows it up swiftly. These retakes have been quick from Heroic. They're not mucking about. So they do get the 2-0. But another bomb plant means that Spirit might have a bit of money to play with here.
Yeah, I mean, not terrible getting 2 kills as well, but obviously they had fully bought into that round, so they would have wanted a bit more. I don't think they've done enough damage to justify the force straight back in either. I think it's worth just taking a few pistols here, trying to do even 2 kills worth of damage once again, and then hopefully in the next full gun round actually being able to then break the economy off the back of the damage that's being done. And that's what they're going for, yeah. It's deagles mostly. It is deagles across the board, actually. Everyone's got one. No nades, unfortunately, so it is just going to be those headshots that are required, but let's see what they can deliver. There's only one SMG even for Heroic, so you can see rifles-wise they are playing this pretty safe. They obviously got an AK in that previous round as well. Cadian, okay, he's gone incredibly aggressive through T-Apps, and Chopper's going to actually walk past him now. But Cadian's not going to notice, so this could be dangerous. There's actually a player pushed up in the apartments who is probably going to get caught off guard. That's an AK maybe for Chopper now. Let's see. Yep, no idea. He's not going to expect that there's no other players around here, though, so he won't move straight in for the weapon. And, well, in the meantime, Cadian, he's actually given away his position by getting that one kill. But, yeah, Mir's ready for a trade.
It wasn't a bad idea, though, because he did capture the bomb, but now that's more guns taken over. Chopper.
Yeah, he's going to get that now,
Get
surely.
that. Yeah, they're giving it over. That's a big piece to find. Now, man advantage, a rifle in hand, an MP9 as well for Mir. Maybe the MP9's not so impactful, but it is certainly something. They know there's an AUG watching top car, so you can't really peek into that. You can't really take that particular fight. But here's going to come the hit. Looks like they're going to come funneling out of the balcony. Do they have a flashbang? No. A single Molotov? No. Oh, it is well placed on Atisis. He still gets a kill. There, but there's a follow-up. Borat shutting it down. Nothing doing, but what is this from Degster? They'll still need to get someone up into the apartments to get that bomb, which makes life difficult, to say the least, but they've managed to do it before Staffan got on the angle. That was potentially the most dangerous part of the run. Ooh, a swing, but a check and information known. Now Mir can take up a position to support Degster on site, and Degster just wants to play for him to face in. I think he's actually holding the angle. No, falls off of it. That's wise. They need to play with this clock. There's not a lot that Staffan has going for him. A single flashbang, no smoke to get on that defuse. He's going to have to take the fight some way or another. And meanwhile, he's been wrapped towards Arch, which is going to make his life ever more difficult. He's making all the way back at Boiler, but he will eventually come through and get the kill, as Staffan wanted to eliminate one before trying for the defuse. Spirit pull off a third-round upset with a very limited kit, and that is going to be disturbing for the heroic squad.
Yeah, damn. I mean, it's kind of just unfortunate that Cadian unfortunately kind of slipped past Chopper, who came in from second mid. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And then he got the player from the apartments. Yeah, I mean, timing works out in favor of Team Spirit, but they then also play it well together, as you said, to make sure that they were able to actually capitalize and convert that advantage that they had. So Team Spirit with a steal. They only had that half investment. It wasn't even the force buy, and now it's Heroic who have a bit of a dreadful investment themselves. The M4 in the off, yeah, pretty good. Cadian, unfortunately, is glass cannon, though, and yeah, you can see even with the Deagles and the MP9, they're not able to get many nades behind them. And on a map like Inferno, you do not want to be lacking nades. It makes it pretty easy for your opponent to exploit you, but let's see. No one challenging Banana in the opening moments anyway from Heroic. They do have players set up, though, for once the footsteps are heard up close, to have a little bit of a peek in. It's Barup, I believe, there. Yeah, he's got 2 flashes even. So we'll see if they will look to go aggressive with this anytime soon. An MP9 and an op here to try and hold off. They're going back to A, though, the rest of them. Just leaving 2 players here. They could be caught, though. If they get these kills quickly, then maybe there's a chance for them to move over with even a couple of upgraded weapons. Oh, are they going for the B-split instead? It could still walk them into the stack if this is what they're looking to do. This could be dangerous.
Oh, good shot from Magix. Now they've got so much control. They're in towards the spawn. Either of these duos needs to be sweating bullets right here. There's the check. Going to be a preemptive smoke, anticipating the Molotov coming over, and indeed does. The HE is effective. They're going to try and hide the rifle in sight. So one player goes down. The question becomes, do they figure out that Nico is here? Nico is playing the long con. And they're looking for it. Degster not biting on that particular piece of bait. And at this point, Cadian just has to save the AWP. Round is over. Spirit will tie up the scoreline. At least they'll have the AWP to work on in this round, but nobody dropped for Spirit. This is such a momentum swing. The round they won before takes the wind out of Heroic sails, and now there's a veritable gale behind Team Spirit pushing them forward because they got cash money for days.
Yeah, flawless. That was just absolutely perfect right there. Cadian chilling back into spawn. He will save the op most likely. I don't... Well, wait, hang on, actually, because the Young is coming around the corner. Okay, he gets that first kill. That should confirm it now. I don't think Chopper can make it over in time to actually have a chance of taking it away, so they are indeed going to at least have an op to work with, but that's it. It's going to be a full eco elsewhere. No pistols, I wouldn't even imagine, to be upgraded. Cadian doesn't even have one to drop over, sadly. And, well, we'll have to see what Cadian does. Is he going to go a little bit more aggressive, maybe? They do have 2 smokes. A flash would be incredibly handy at the moment, though, for him. Yeah, he's actually going to take it over towards middle. 3 players right behind them. Maybe we could see some mid-aggression off the pistols and the op in the back trying to pick off a couple of players, but I don't know. Even then, that's usually just kind of sacrificing the USPs. And, well, that's what they're going for. They're not being too hectic with it. They are going to actually walk their way down, and here we go. A flash goes over. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch Sundai Young, but it sends him back into a position where the op has vision. And, well, Cadian, he's gotten himself 2 already. Barup now, I was going to say pushing Banana. He actually just spammed through the smoke. And with that was able to catch Dexter from behind. So now we've got a 2-on-2.
They pressure in towards the site. It's just a USP on the other side. There's an op at their flank. That bomb needs to be retrieved. Unfortunately for Borup, Cadian's not really in a position to be able to help him. So this is realistically 2 1v2s, and Borup has the short end of the stick, pulling in a USP. Let's see if he can catch any sort of damage here. That would be frankly impressive. If he could get a dink, great. You get a kill, give him a medal. Let's see what's going through. Molly to clear out Dark there, being very careful. Even though it's just 1 USP, you don't need to be hasty about this. He's going to connect. There's the kill. That's massive. Well done. 1 USP on site, and he turns into a 1v1. What an effort from the man. Crown him now. Cadian coming in for the clutch. Bomb is down, so at least that plant. But Magix can't really get out of the angle. He's going to come into the face. There's going to be the scope. The shot is missed. Quick scope, too fast. And Magix asserting his dominance there. Round got hasty. Round got shaky. Round went off the rails. But ultimately, steer the ship on home.
That was insane. You can see the bullet went right over his shoulder. You can see how close it was from where the mark hit on quad. Yeah, as you said, right down to the wire. Barup doing what he could with that USP. Cadian also having a pretty decent round with those 2 initial kills down mid. And while it wasn't enough to get the win, of course, it was pretty good damage. They didn't have anything invested around that op, other than, I think it was 2 smokes and 1 flash. And the op, of course, had even been saved, so it's not like they had spent into that. Cadian, though, he's still a little bit low. He's only got an MP9 here, so not great. He's up against Dexter, who does have the op as well. But yeah, fairly standard setup so far. 3 players pushed up close on mid, which is, well, looking to be an issue for them, because right now 3 of the players for Spirit are grouped up on the balcony, and they're going to start swarming out. They're going to lose full control of the pit, and, well, now it can get quite a bit more difficult to actually hang on to this bomb site, or, well, at this point, basically to regain control of it. At least 1 found from Tessie's, but it wasn't enough. They've been traded out into a 4-on-3, and they may want to consider saving if they don't get a quick kill here.
Wouldn't be a bad shout, considering their economy is in the dumpster, and they're going to do so.
Yeah, they're done.
Pavan
Down's out there.
clears out back. They're going to bail. They're going to back away to him. He's cleared the flank. They'll keep what they have. They'll live to fight another day. Spirit climbing to 4. The big question for me now is, can SDY get away from this bomb? He's got 2 points of health. He might just die with the explosion. Certainly can't stay in the pit. Better get moving, SDY. That time is getting low. Time to hold W, my friend. Oh, is he gonna
So
get
planted
away?
in the close corner.
I think it's
Be
getting
okay
him.
over here now.
I think it's getting him. Oh, he gets away.
He's good, he's good.
You'll see the player who's
got
right
past,
next
like,
to him is
the middle
Chopper. Chopper got 2 points of damage, and he was a step behind him. So he literally had a step.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if he went down anyway. It was a relatively clean round overall, but yeah, it's nice to be able to at least hang on to his weapon. You can see even then he doesn't have a lot of money. He's unfortunately the one with the weakest economy out of everyone at the moment. Not saying much though. They are 4-2, and even if there is a full buy here from Heroic, it'll have to be Stown dropping 1 over, and the player again left on a weaker weapon. So some good chances here in the early moments. Spirit looking good.
That they are. I mean, we kind of expected it. We've expected both these teams to look good, to be quite frank, but their trajectory is pretty similar. Teams on the rise, teams on the ascent. Heroic been up there for a little longer. Spirit climbing to join them. Been a fan of this roster for a long time. Back when they really stamped their mark on my brain when they just destroyed everybody at a global challenge. And it's amazing to get to cast them at a global challenge and now to be casting them at IEM Katowice. That's a glow up for Team Spirit, to say the least.
Yourself.
You know I'm all right.
Down in trouble. Yeah, good pick from Bear. Oh, the nade as well. Baruch, goodbye. They actually still have Tessie's here, thankfully. It was the 3-man stack, but what can he do? Thankfully, they aren't actually pushing in. And another smoke to replenish the hold. And yeah, they should be able to delay for now. Team Spirit aren't really worried about forcing the issue. They don't need to. They don't need to be throwing away this advantage that they currently have. It does seem like they want to work back towards B eventually, but yeah, for now, just waiting for that smoke to dissipate and, well, hoping they could catch Tessie's out of position, because he is still alone. I think they might be rotating back after having that boost above the mid smoke. yeah, didn't spot anything, so Cadian's going to move around, and, well, I think they might be making the correct decision. We're unsure as of yet, since the bomb's still back on the ramp, and it could be brought around to A if they really wanted.
Smoke to cover the cross. The execution looks like it's going to come in here, but yeah, with 3 players here, if this apartment lurkers realizes that there's no one outside the apps to greet him, maybe he can signal the retreat, but it's unlikely. Usually what we see in the setup is we see the apartment lurker work his way out balcony, try and punish late rotations or saves, but they're not biting just yet. They've sent 1 player out. Now this is interesting for Spirit. Now they set up extra utility. Now they've got a guy in pit, but they know there's presence here. They're still hitting after they know that there's presence, though. They've lost 2 players on site. You just back out. You just back out. You know you're all the way through. You're taking the fight. You're taking the battle. The flank is on. Yes, now there's 1 player on site, Thesis. And he's going to hit the first. They give him a chance at the clutch. He's got control of the ball now. The molly will force him out, and Chopper will secure it. But, man, Spirit made that more difficult than they needed to. I suppose they were out of clock by the time they actually did do the hit, but I don't know. I feel like they still could have quite gotten that. I'd have to check the exact clock when the hit came through. They decided to commit in. Ultimately, they did win it. All's well that ends well, Dean. Oh, it's down to 20 seconds. They probably didn't have time for the rotation, so I'll take back my words there.
Yeah, no, I think it would have been cutting it close at that point, and unfortunately one of the players who died, I think, ended up dropping the bomb forward as well. So for the other player who was left, he didn't really have the option to even give it a go if he wanted. But yeah, Spirit, 5-2. They continue to build up this lead. We had mentioned as well, actually, if it does get to map number 3, then Heroic could be having a little bit of a tough time heading on towards Train, not one that they've really found any success on recently. And even Nuke, you were saying, is such a strong map for Spirit that it was an interesting choice coming through for Heroic. But I can understand it, because it's not like there was too many other maps that Heroic themselves would match up much better than them on. I think most maps are pretty close, so you may as well go towards your own strengths. Oh, Cadian, some balls here. I think he might actually catch the second mid player. Apparently not. I think he's being legged down, actually getting away with 56. Not too bad, all things considered, but yeah, early damage towards Spirit.
I like that they called that. I'm a big fan of the ultimate peek. It's bold. It's very tricky. You can only do it every once in a while. But when you get a kill there, it is so impactful because it sends the T's reeling. But getting a leg, getting some damage, and we're seeing the damage increase. Again, they're playing with 3 players over towards B, but a Molotov will force them out of position. We're seeing this over and over again. Cadian's come all the way around with the AWP. He's looking for action, but now they've brought him that direction. They're taking brackets. It's a yo-yo. Team Spirit, damage one way, head back the other. Damage one way, head back the other. Take some control. Like to see it. Let's see what they ultimately do group up in. It looks like they're going to take some A control, and I like that call, but Heroic have seemed to read it. 3 players here, and even the 2 back, checking their flank. Trying to make sure there wasn't somebody who'd work their way through arches. Now the hit's going to be on. They've taken top mid. 35 seconds, so a little bit of clock to play with, but not much. Could bail into the split to B if it came to it. 3 players on site, no one in pit. That might convince them it's a stack going the other way, that they haven't found a pit player. I don't know that they're going to think there's 3 players behind these smokes. Controlling towards the arch, a little bit of a duel. On comes the cavalry, and controlling towards Moto and Library. And he does get a kill. There's the spot. He saw 1. Only 1, though. Here comes the Rap to take care of Coldzera, and it works. And the next. That position cleared out. Both players dealt with, but TC strikes back. Cadian, another. Down to Mir, and he's out of time. He faces that? Gets clocked. All right.
That was after, right? Yeah, he got 0, I believe. He still has money, so it's not too big of a deal. If he had have got the kill, then he could pick up the op and just run away, I guess, and try and save it over. But yeah, it was a little bit risky. I don't think he would have got away with trying to just hide either way. So do or die. Alright, what was it? I forget what I'm going for there. My brain's starting to mess up on me. Like when I get hungry, this is how it goes. I need to eat Snickers. But it is another buyback in, obviously, from Team Spirit, as we mentioned. If not for that, they might have even had enough for another buy afterwards, depending on how Mir would have been looking. I think it probably would have just went towards a few more nades here. But there is a chance. If Heroic take this round, then Spirit are looking towards an eco on the majority of their players, and we'll see whether that's going to be the case or not, because they have actually kicked it off with the first blood. This is easily the best start we've actually seen from them into one of these rounds. Did they hear that player up close on short? I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, Dexter's watching for it. Oh, and they're sending in a second man. No, actually going up towards the apartment to get spotted, and Here we go. Magix has already caught one. He knows there's a second player around the pit now, so they, in theory, could be trying to push forward on this, but it's a good thing they didn't, because it actually is the stack coming in.
Heroic are reading rotations fairly well, but this time it seems like Spirit sniffed it out. And the thing is, if this hit comes in, you imagine Staven plays a bit of a retake setup. He doesn't have the support with him to really face into it, and I think they'd rather play the retake 4-on-4. They have smokes, they have mollies. The smoke bite might be enough, though. Slows them down. Now we get the flower pots boost. He's got a second player with him. Borup can go back towards the coffins or just play in towards the site, which seems to be his read. He'll re-smoke the angle. Got a Molotov ready. Molotov goes down, so he's just trying to wear out the T-side utility. They've got another smoke, so they can wait a second before moving. Now there's 3 players here and a flank on. Everybody's going to be in position for Heroic. Why are they ready for the banana flank? Nico is going to be crunching it on that. In the meantime, Staven's taking the front. 2 kills, and it's falling apart. They can't clear out the angles, and everybody drops for Spirit. No damage even done onto the hold. The flank unnecessary. Heroic take round number 4.
What a hold. Decimated between the two. And gets down. I mean, this is a wild spray. I'm surprised he just stuck with it, but it's working out incredibly well. And yeah, Baruch doing just as good of a job with that second one. It's going to be a 5-4 score now. Only 1 between them. Looking a little bit better for Heroic, and they should be tying it up even off the back of this. 3 of the players over there looking at the, or rather 4 of the players over there on Team Spirit looking at the eco. So they're only able to buy up a few pistols, and well, again, Cadian, he's loving this mid peak. I like that he's not shying away from it, especially in these rounds when you're like 90% sure that they're only going to have pistols, and mostly ones that aren't going to be able to challenge you to effectively to kind of put it in the mind of your opponents that they're going to need to be expecting that mid peak again and again, because he's already given it to them on a couple of gun rounds. So yeah, conditioning them to expect that aggression. So when they don't get it, they might be just left kind of dilly-dallying and wasting time. Nice shot by Cadian though. Magic's down. He expects the second, doesn't it? The flick, and I was going to say he could just back off the arch because he had teammates here to support, but no, Cadian wants more, and he's been given it. Until eventually Nico says, I want a little bit too. There's a nice double from him. 5-5.
Cadian's having a nice start to this map. 14 kills through 10 rounds. 14-4. 3 of them coming in that round for sure, but I mean, he's still 11 kills before that. He still led the server, not including a 3K and an anti-eco. So that's a good line for the Opera early on. Big impact being felt. Now we see what kind of an answer we have from Spirit. Their momentum has been stopped. The last time they sort of got to this point, we saw them crack back into it with a pistol round. Now it's going to be the rifles. Body utility being exchanged towards Banana. That nade's decent. Could have perhaps been better, but there's mollies coming back over. Like that. A flashbang and a smoke. Stan was trying to get a peek there, but the smoke will prevent him from having too much impact from that. But it will chase Spirit out of Banana. They got to back out. And here we go. A little bit of aggression to the apartments. A trade. As Nico is lost. Very spread defense. 2 towards either site. 1 towards either side of the top brackets. But it seems like, again, they're going to come into the B hit. And this is interesting. 2 players from the same angle. Not a boost, but a crouch setup. Risky for the team kill. But that's not going to be the case. It's down to a 1v2. And the 1, well, he doesn't have any health. And he's leaving? He's leaving. He's going towards A. What a read. Had the site. Had everything. But instead, he's going to give it up. And he's going to move towards A. And if they suss this out in time... No, they're not going to. He'll be on site before they are. Made a risky gambit here, did Mir. But it's working. Numbers will be punched in. He'll at least confirm the bomb plant for his team. And by the time they figure out what's going on, it'll take them a minute to rotate back around. Mir can take advantage of this chaos. He's going to take the aggressive angle. Oh, if he catches them coming around the arch, this could be huge, Dean. I love what he's doing. It's going to be so hard to time, but he's giving himself a massive opportunity to do so. Doesn't quite have the read. Ooh, I don't think they spotted his elbow as he came around. They're checking for things. But there we go. There's 1 kill. Now a 1v1. Mir could do this. What a brilliant maneuver. The HG coming around would chase him, but he's tucked into the boiler, so it's not going to have impact. Trying to force the fight, pulling him off, buying time. Borup, he's lost the round. He doesn't have time to do this anymore. Mir, you absolute stud. 1 HP survival, too.
Oh, damn.
God,
yeah,
that's
as you
amazing.
said, that was played amazingly right there. The timing, it looked like he was actually going to get caught initially just as he went back into cover there. They were coming into the library. time to peek back in, catches one, and then just plays that 1v1 absolutely flawlessly as well. Initially, the flash, which had the player shooting, giving over the warning, like, yeah, okay, cool, I don't need the peek right now. He's not on it. The tap, he takes the perfect, he ends up peeking pretty much at the perfect time then as well to run it down and ensure there wasn't going to be any hope for Baruch. And yeah, Spirit, they steal away a 6th round. Obviously, Heroic had been kind of clawing their way back into it with a few in a row. Being here on the T side, I think Spirit are good with finding 1 to 2 more rounds, and then it's a pretty good half. So yeah, it's about that grind right now, and if they could keep it up and take this one even, then Heroic could be struggling a bit with the economy in the following. But here we go. Apps control in favor of Team Spirit, and they're going straight towards the A hit right now. And it was initially a 4-man B stack from Heroic, so they're only coming back to position themselves for this hold now. So I was going to say if Team Spirit had have gone quickly with it, we could have seen Heroic having some trouble. But fortunately, Team Spirit for now are going to be backing off. So Heroic, they do have a bit of a moment to get themselves set up, and it eases some of that pressure for sure. They actually have 4 here now, so they've just going to switch the stack around.
Molly down to whittle some health off of Chopper. Katie in, who going to be tested here, looking for it. There's the flashbang. He spotted a booty. But Swiggity Swooty, he couldn't catch that kill. Will be chased down instead. He loses his life, not able to get around the corner. That means Stavin's an awkward spot. Here's the swing. He gets 1, not quite the second. It looked good, to be quite frank, but it's not a kill shot. And now, honestly, this might be a save. Bomb going down, off in the hands of Dagster. Control available. 30 seconds. Not even relevant, because it's on the clock, but the bomb is down. These 3 remaining players are just going to chill in towards A. Save what they've got. The question is, does Mir allow them to? He's actually not worried about hunting. He's worried about making sure they don't retake right now. So he's going to clear back in towards spawn. Be like, okay, they're not going for it. Now let's see if I can collect some guns. Mir, he's the Grim Reaper on the site, and it's come time to pay your dues. It's a player in Graveyard, a player deep in Pit, and a player deep on the site. Don't know that Mir is going to find any of them. Think it's unlikely. So Heroic should be able to take these 3 guns through. Spirit, claim round 7.
Yeah, a bit troublesome now for Heroic. They can drop over from Baruch, so I would imagine they're going to have this buy still coming in, and yeah, they will, but lose this one, suddenly Team Spirit are honestly even on track to potentially to 10 rounds at the halftime. And yeah, that would be a little bit worrying for Heroic, if I'm being honest. Obviously, this is Spirit's map choice, but we said Spirit are more than capable of also standing up on Nuke and being able to take that one too. And my issue more so is just that Spirit even take this first map, and if we get to a 3rd map as trained, as the side are being trained, that one's just going to be incredibly difficult for Heroic. So yeah, I need them to step up here and now and show us a good end to the CT side, preferably in Baruch. He's given us a good start to this round specifically. But let's see if they can actually turn this into a round win now. Bit of nade damage though. Decent return from Sumda Young. It was the best he could do. But they're still losing players, so it's not really going too well elsewhere. Where even was that? Did they peek apps? Oh, they did. Yeah, they peeked in deep.
Yep, and it was collected. 2 players on top of that wall, and I'm gonna guess below it. Ooh, Chopper does delete Cadian though. That's a big piece down. That's the op out of play. Now there's a chance back in. TC's going to have to hold strong. It looks like they're going to threaten him. Presumably a flash comes around to facilitate. Never mind, they don't have a flash. They just dry peek it, and Chopper deletes it. They'll lose their banana presence. Good kill for Stoughton. 2 players were set up beautifully to take that. Now they're going to be worried about their flank over on the Spirit side, but they know 2 players on banana. That means maximum 1 guy's here, and they've got a molly to clear pit. Does it go in? Yes, it does. Nico doesn't have a smoke for this. He's got to fade out. He gets the kill as they're throwing. That's nicely done. It's going to be another clutch potential. This time for Chopper, it would be the ace as well. He has 3 kills already to his name, 13 bullets in his AK-47, and he is wrapping away from them as they come up the flank. He's going to realize the timing. Has a good feel for it. There's 1 HE that's not really going to do him much good, but he wants to go full ring around the Rosie and take the flank from the direction they just came. They're clearing spots. They're being very methodical about it, but that's going to allow him the time to get up forward. They might expect him to swing from library. Oh, but they actually do anticipate this play. He doesn't care. He has to go forward. Cannot go back into the Molotov. He's done the damage. Has he just won the round? He has. Oh. He backs away. The HE will finish it. Health or no, it doesn't matter. Chopper, a 4K and a clutch effective. Stavin's not getting away from that bomb.
absolutely insane. The molly took him down to 2 health as well. So close right there, but yeah, incredibly well played. Great kind of mind to realize that he had no way of winning if he was to back through that Molotov. He's like, all right, fine, I'll have to tank this little bit of damage and just hope the fight works out. And, well, it did. Hit a fantastic shot and kept the other player off of the bomb long enough for it to work out. And yeah, Spirit now on a roll with 3 rounds in a row, I believe. It's been heroic. This is worrisome. They've actually got Cadian going on towards the op as well. Everyone else on pistols and Kevlar, so it's not the full investment across the board. They just want to have a shot in this round and, well, hope they can do something with the full buy in the follow. And they could get the op dropped over to Katie in the next round as well if they wanted to, but the only thing is the player's still going to be left with something weaker, and well, the op in this round, it hasn't paid any dividends. They get a single kill towards B as the push comes in, and well, a 3-man stack completely obliterated with barely any damage being returned. They done 2 on the chopper. That was it. Oh, very nicely timed nade as well.
It is indeed. And now we play a game. It's called Hide the AWP. No, they're not going to. Never mind. Show them the AWP is the new name of the game. That's a very different game you're playing here, Nico. Swing into 5. Smokes are up, so that's not going to happen. I am very curious about whether they're going to commit this to the fight or whether they're going to back out. It would be really nice to have an op in the next round to try and get 6. I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about if that's what it comes to. But no, it does seem like they're sticking around. They want the fight. If it's they're going to go for it. Presumably, you could say they can save. Here comes the move. DC's gets 1, no more. And there's the op. Felt it's not even going to get a kill, just a leg shot. And that is 9 on the board for Spirit and nothing taken into the next for Heroic. So you're right. Somebody is going to be limited. Let's see what Heroic do to paper over the issue. I mean, presumably they can get a FAMAS out, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
You could even go glass cannon and drop an M4. They got 2 ops too. They made it work.
Oh, damn. I wasn't expecting that. I guess it makes some sense. Cadian's been loving his aggression, though, and without the Kevlar, can't really do that on a map like Inferno, unless you want to get just nades all over you, basically. That's never fun. Oh, that was not a great start for Heroic. Cadian was there, thankfully, so he does at least get the trade onto Chopper. But I think Team Spirit are still going to be fine with that 1-for-1 at the moment, especially as they move up Banana. If they can get this trade onto the player around the corner, then it's trouble for Heroic. And down, he sticks around. He wanted more. Went for the second flick. Neither of them connected, unfortunately. So it is going to be Banana control going the way of Team Spirit. And with 1 minute and 15 still remaining, they don't really need to be making the commitment quite yet. They could slow things down if they wanted. But they are pressuring on to B with that smoke. Hoping to try and pull someone out maybe, see if they can get another pick, and then perhaps off the back of that make the decision then if they want to commit or not. But they are actually coming here no matter what, I believe.
Yeah, looks like Borb wants to come through this, although he does have a molly, so the molly can just be dumped as the second nade comes over. He goes for the counter smoke. Interesting. Molly behind it, perhaps? Now it comes in. All right. Holding until the last possible second, which is actually a good read on what Spirit wanted to do. Nice nade in. Doesn't do that much. Oh, Stone. That needs to connect. That needs to connect. Not going to get too many more opportunities. The wild flicks, and they are not working. Damage done, but not a kill. There we go for Stone. Now he finds home. Just a wee bit more, but it's a 3-on-2. Bomb will be planted here in a moment. No, they're pressing forward to find Stone. That's nuts. And it is going to work out. Mir, you madman. How does he do this again and again? The bold play, the risky play, running the clock down as much as possible. Now he's in a 1v2. No more clock to run. You've got to plant this bomb while you have a chance. He wants one more face. 9 seconds, and he will find the AWP of Cadian, but the wrong side of it. 9-6 is our line as we head into the half. See you after the break. between Spirit and Heroic at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. First map underway. We see the odds coming in. People starting to heavily favor Spirit. They were neck and neck at the start, but GG Bet appears to be sliding a little bit more towards the Spirit. They feel like Team Spirit. Or smell like it, I suppose. Hit's gonna come through. Oh, Degster catches Cadian just running up mid with a nade out. That's not recommended. Cadian assumed that it was clear, and it was in fact not. I don't know. That's a head scratcher, Dean. That's a head scratcher of a start.
Yeah, I don't know. That was strange. And that's some of the utility that they had planned for this. I'm pretty sure that was the Moto smoke he was going to set up. So you can see now they're not going to have any cover as they come out of the apartments, but it doesn't matter. The Glocks get up close. They take heads and, well, they take control of that bomb site. As now it's going to come down to Team Spirit on a retake. Nothing to be done about that bomb being planted. There is Stown actually still lurking up in the apps. So this could also catch them off guard. He's got the P250. You can see they are looking to clear it out as all three players now group up in mid. And they are going to move in. So he's getting a bit of info there as he hears those footsteps. And apparently he can't kill anyone. Dexter with an instant headshot. That's going to kick off the retake now. And they do have nades.
Ooh. We're going to shot from Nico, though. Takes one of the number out. This is going to get weird. There's a player in the pit. Now they're out of the utility. This crossfire should be deadly. It's very quick to work with. There's a player graveyard. The swing is good. The aim punch better. And heads ripped from both players simultaneously. That is Heroic on the board. Off the back of that picture, they're likely going to be able to equalize these numbers. But let's see first. Spirit, never mind. They're right into the force buy. This is going to get spicy. I do love a Team Spirit force buy, as we have seen before. Last time it wasn't the second round force, but rather the third round light buy that saw them through. I think that could be the case again.
Hadn't worked, and then they ended up what was it? Oh, they ended up with the play into the apartments, wasn't it, getting past Cadian when he pushed. So yes, we'll see whether it can be done this time. Obviously Spirit on the CT side a little bit harder. Your weapons aren't concentrated in one position, but who cares? Chopper mows them down, the blades spin, heads are removed, and I was gonna say that should be the round, but Cadian's given us a bit of hope now with a double coming back of his own. The bomb is put down, but Chopper, he's given them a fighting chance. And yeah, as you pointed out, those HEs, especially on the Cadian in the back corner at Dark, could cause damage, but they need to win out this battle now on Banana. If Baruch takes down SDY coming up Banana, then they have control to play off of the bomb at least.
If they sussies in the dark corner, this could be disastrous. That's a huge hold for Baruch. And the nade goes into the wrong place. Okay, so Cadian lives to fight another day. Now it's rifles on pistols. Still a very low Cadian, makes it rough, and they know they can isolate him. He's done for, certainly. Now he is. There's a gun picked up. Comes down to the 1v1, time expiring. The round has been won by Heroic, but the damage will be felt. Spirit make it oh so expensive. There will be no survivors today. That, my goodness, Chopper. Here we're going to see it again. This needs to be seen. That's 5-7 play like you just don't even know. He almost gets the fourth as well. So disruptive, so disastrous. 341 damage.
Sorry, I had to shout out Baruch for the flash assist. That was very unfortunate, as they were going through a bit of miscommunication or something there, but that's what actually cost them. Baruch flashed all three of those players. I mean, it is very difficult still to do what Chopper done and hit all of those shots with a 5-7. That was insane. Obviously, they don't win it out, sadly, but they can get another couple of kills here and make it another costly one and then just get going again once they get onto the guns. That will be the goal. And Chopper, I mean, he's in the exact same place they nade him this time. There we go. That's not happening again. That's what they tell you, Chopper.
Well, he's not dead yet. It's like the SpongeBob meme. Want to see me get a 3K with a 5-7? Want to see it again?
Oh,
that's pretty much what we've got going on here.
They've only got two players this time, just to limit them.
Look at Magix. He's all the way through T-Apps now. There's a player holding bottom of ult mid. That's TC's. But Magix is into the T apartments, and TC's is to walk past it. This could be a kill, and with it a gun. Ooh, there comes the check, but the timing is brutal. No, he checks back. Fortunate there. A half a second of difference, and that could have been all over. A gun found. As it is, it's now an A site, completely open, ripe for the taking. So they're going to make their way in, and this is likely going to be the round. Is there anything worth saving? Chopper's armor, I guess. Otherwise, not really. You can prevent giving the guns over, but Nico's going to be here, or giving the kills over, rather. Nico's going to be here to collect at some point. It seems like they're content to sit and wait on the site.
Yeah, I mean, you could you could go get exits if you wanted, but as we know, there's a couple of SMGs in play. They've nothing to really gain from getting the kills themselves over on the heroic side, though, so they don't really need to hunt either. It's about Spirit just not giving away money and heroic not giving away weapons. So we're gonna have both teams pretty much chilling now. Nico, he could go in. I mean, I wouldn't mind it too much. He's got the full health still. He could try and take 1 or 2 players. Then it's worth it, honestly, because they're going to be going onto the buy in the next round. So he could go straight towards a rifle if he wanted. But live with all 5. The Mac 10s, as we know, can still be very effective on this map coming into the gun rounds, especially if you're moving up the square like Banana or even trying to catch some apps aggression. We'll see how that plays out. I'm hearing some typing in the chat. Could mean we're about to see a pause. I wouldn't mind a pause before the first gun round, actually, for Spirit. It wouldn't be a bad shout.
I don't believe we've got it. So maybe a question about how much damage was done or something like that. Hasn't come through on the Magic bot. So I don't think a pause is coming in. Now, all right, here's the player to watch in this round. Degster. We're on him right now. Where's this AWP going to go? This is the X factor for Spirit right now. The unknown quantity that has been incredible so far. Looks like he's going to go for a lightning fast peek down here, down Banana. Avoids the Molotov. He'll take some damage off of it, but he's collected a scalp, and that's Cadian down for the count, and Degster is out of there. That's what we're talking about. That's the difference that the Degster can make. The Degster difference. He needs to patent that. It comes on in. Magic's going to be holding these players off in the apartment. He's up on the balcony. Has some Young right under him. It's not a bad shout. And Heroic, they don't really have any map control here. They've kind of been rebuffed at every turn. Now they're going to try and take some brackets control. They're going to try and push their way through here top mid, get some sort of spacing, but there's 4 players from Team Spirit close at hand.
Yeah, that's the issue. They're actually just going to back straight away. Thankfully, because that nade came in immediately after a few bullets were spammed away. But yeah, it's going to be up towards Banana, and, well, for now, it's only Chopper. If they go quietly, he's not playing in a way where you could get that info, but yeah, they're giving him plenty of warning. The nade's coming over, but he sticks around. I'm very surprised that Chopper wanted to stay for the fight. Mirror instantly smoked off. They've thrown that from the bottom of Banana even, I believe, so they're ready to just full-on commit. Mirror can't do anything about them pushing in and very likely getting that bomb down now. Let's see. Close is that Mac 10 player. You don't want to be getting, well, too close and personal against that weapon, especially without a helmet. And, well, yeah, Mir realizes that he's going to back away. And, well, with his teammates not even in a hurry to move in this direction, I would imagine this is the save. And it makes sense. They don't even have a kit. So they really would be pressured for time trying to move in towards B. Get the save in. They're going to have a buy again the next round around it. But Heroic, they're going up towards 10. Double digits being found.
Double digits is nice here, but I absolutely agree with the decision. Especially if they can get a couple exits. Well, that's not going to happen. They've gotten back around. Time to just bail, save the AWP. But you don't have kits, and even beyond the kits, you don't have smokes. You don't have mollies. You can't clear anything. It's very risky. Instead, here, you can get a pretty solid buy. Someone can drop a rifle over to Chopper. Suddenly, you've got mostly nades. I mean, 4 players with nades. You got kits this time around. It's much better. So now a retake's definitely on the cards. It's distinctly a possibility. But you're right. Heroic with a lead for the first time in a long time. Feels good. Feels good indeed. Cadian's pace hasn't slowed much. He is 22-11 right now. That's a damn good scoreline, especially considering they're not dominating. Tough to do.
And against well, to be fair, Dexter didn't use the off much on the T side, but when you're against Dexter, the rest of them will be putting up as well. SDY doesn't bomb. Okay, the rest of them have already moved around long, but now they need to try and recover that if they want anything to do with the bomb site, if they are even to get the kills. So far, it's not looking like they're going to get past that hurdle either way, so I don't think it's going to be the biggest of deals. As I say that, though, I obviously jinx it a little bit, because Nico does get 1 kill. The molly put down, but good. Unfortunately, it doesn't bloom in time. Dexter has the pretty much perfect time in there to peek in and catch him. And then Mir from long is there to finish off the final man standing 10-10. We're tied back up. Again, this is the map choice of... Sorry, you can go.
I was just going to say, I would like to officially submit my application for the Degster fan club. I want full membership rights.
Did you not create it?
All right, so he gets 2 kills there, and the kills are nice, but the movement is so much better. Just the read on the situation of when he needs to face which way, how he dodges the Molotov to be perfectly poised to fight the last player and stay alive to set up his teammates. There's oodles of talent there that are just going to continue to blossom. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Degster, top 20 player in the next 2 years. I'm not quite willing to call my shot on this year, Dean. but I'm saying next.
Oh. Well, he's got Nico in the opening moments of this round. If he gives us the performance we seen when he stood in for Sprout on a consistent basis, then I think he could say this year. But yeah, no, I think what you've gone for there is definitely the safe bet. I do believe he's going to be a top player once he gets that little bit more experience behind them. As I was, what I was going to say before was Heroic, as you had mentioned, they got themselves into the lead there a moment ago for the first time in quite a while. Obviously now have lost it. They have a chance of fighting back into this one, and I feel like they need to pick this up and aim for the 2-0 because I would not fancy their chances on train if we do get to that decider.
A lot of pressure on Chopper's shoulders here. He doesn't have any nades for this either, and they really don't have any nades to get back in. So again, this is a situation where Spirit kind of have to do or die. Mir's gotten a kill elsewhere. He's on the flank. He gets a second as well. Never mind. This is set up beautifully. The flank was well timed. No one was watching bottom of Banana. Heroic, they took too long to get here to not have anyone watching the protocol of the behind. Gotta cover CYA, as they say here. Bomb will go down. But the retake is going to be swift and merciless. They may not have much utility to set this up, but they do have the manpower. Never mind. It's been whittled away. Cadian hits the first. There's the second. Not all four players were in position. This kill has to be won, and indeed it is. And Mir gets another. A massive 3K from Mir. He's just doing it again and again and again. And this will be Spirit retaking the lead. The AWP is retrieved. The round is claimed. 11 on the board.
There we go. Spirit now with 2 in a row. Heroic. It's a rough one. That was so close as well. Who was it? SDY, I think that got taken low in towards construction. If that kill had came true, at least, then we could have seen potentially the winnable 1v2 situation for the player left on the bomb site. But yeah, no, it's a tough spot to be in for Heroic. They at least have one more buy here. The only thing they're really lacking is on towards Tessie. He's stuck to a Galil with absolutely no nades. But that's because he gave over the op. He was being friendly to Cadian, and I'm behind that because Cadian, as we mentioned, has been absolutely on one, especially in the first half. Side, you can forgive him for not being quite as prominent on the server with that AWP, but look, it's down. They have no idea. He might actually catch the boost, but no! It's damage. That's all he's able to do. Sumdai Young, well, he defies the odds despite his name and manages to stay alive there with the opening kill, and Chopper just runs through the smoke. They had no idea a player had already bypassed that wall initially, so they didn't expect one up close. Magix has gotten a kill out of nowhere, and suddenly this round has just completely collapsed for Heroic.
This is the kind of round that's difficult for your mental as well, because they just came from every direction. You're looking one way and trying to smoke the other. Dexter gets the polish off kill. That was nearly a team ace. Mir, the only player who doesn't get to participate, but I think he's more than happy that his team has brought them to this point. Now a timeout comes in for Heroic, and I do love the timing of that timeout. This is well used. You just had a round that just messes with your brain, where every direction you looked, suddenly they were coming from behind you. Take a moment, take a breather. You might not be discussing what to do in this round, because this is an eco. Almost certainly. I wouldn't fancy a force buy here. But it gives you a chance to catch your breath, talk over what happened, talk over how to address it in the next. Might see a couple smokes, maybe some P250s to try and force a fight, I'd imagine, towards B, but really either direction, and get a plant. Don't know that we're going to see much beyond that. And it does look even like, okay, flashes and Glocks, couple P250s, there's a smoke. Right, this plays to plan. Get a bomb plant. See if you can't do some damage. Don't worry about it beyond that. Play for the next.
Yeah, the thing that kind of sucks is, though, that Inferno is a map where it's quite difficult to get that bomb down. I always say this, but by far, I think Train B bomb site has got to be the easiest site or just map in general for you being able to have a chance of actually getting the bomb planted on these weaker buys. Because obviously you can pile out upper and lower, a good flash, you catch one player. Even if you don't kill the player in the back lines who's there to help him, you can still probably get the bomb down, even if you have very little chance of winning. But on a map like Inferno here, you have to cover so much ground to get up Banana. You have to cover so much ground if you want to get up mid and then around short or around long even. And obviously you're getting put in positions where those pistols aren't quite as effective as you're not well up in their face.
Do you see what this strat is? This is the classic.
It's matchmaking, yeah, fake and just leave one player lurking to try and get the bomb plant. It hasn't worked out though, sadly.
You 4 go B, I go A with bomb. You need some kills, and the kills didn't come through. The flashes weren't effective either, and that's most of their utility. They now have one smoke to try and get out. Smoke's going to get thrown. It's a library smoke. It's not really going to catch any player out. There's 3 players who can get angles onto these exit points. Molly's going in as well. 40 seconds, so they kind of just have to go for it. Can wait half a tick for some of these Mollies to fade down. They have bled a lot of utility, to be fair, but there's the massacre. It's over, all in a moment. Not even a second to collect your thoughts as they all hit the dirt. No problem for Spirit. Nobody lost. Plenty of money now available. And only 3 more rounds needed to take map point, or to take the match, rather. 2 to map point. They're looking good. They're feeling good. They're feeling fresh.
They're feeling fresh. Would that mean they don't smell like Team Spirit? Or... Go back to your joke from earlier.
Throwback. Call that a callback.
We need this to be Heroic's round, though. Otherwise, Team Spirit, as you said, will be up towards 15. And, well, at that point, we shouldn't see Spirit struggling anymore here. They should be their back on their way. And although I don't feel bad about Heroic's chances on the second map, as we said, it's the decider, rather, that we do worry about. But a decent trade initially. The 1-for-1 on Banana. There's 2 more players here. They're aware that there was another player at least. But are they going to be expecting Murder to also be tucked in towards the sandbags? And I was going to say, will they even get past Cadian initially? And they do with a trade. Good return there from Barup. Mir, as I mentioned, still tucked in, and this could catch them. Oh, he's been spotted.
Spot. Yeah, this is huge. Because I was going to say, if he goes down, that's the bomb with no one to guard it. Molly to force them off the fight. You're going to drop a smoke and a Molotov. What's his plan here? That just pushes them off. Okay, so they can't get overwhelmed towards Banana for the moment. Might funnel the players back in towards A, where 2 players lurk. But they're not really set up in a crossfire. They both got their individual responsibilities. Dexter's watching in towards mid, then he'll fall back out. Magix is responsible for keeping the balcony clear. And it does seem like this is going to be a hit in towards B. Spirit don't seem to have read it just yet, so it's going to be on Mir. We say on Mir, he's done so much for this team. He's pulled off multiple clutches. His scoreline's only 13-13. That doesn't look that impressive. But when you count for the rounds he gets those kills in, the impact he has is massive. Here comes the hit. Here comes the smokes. Trying to figure out where he wants to play into it. Play on the edge of it. Hope a player comes through. They're going to go for the retake. There's a Molotov and 2 flashes available. Mir doesn't have any of the utility, so if he really wanted to force this through smoke, he could. It would be a bit ill-advised, though, and he will wait for his teammates to get into position. Now they go. There's one Molly. A player's been spotted. Here's the guy right by the coffins. He will get that. The trade is instant, but it's not bag impact. Now many flashes available to cool his way in. He's not blinded, and he's going to get the kill. He's one more. It's all into Dexter, and Dexter will not be able to line up that shot. That was instant from Nico. Heroic, they're fighting. That pause, not this round, but the previous. Coming into impact here, Dean.
Yeah, that's what they need. I honestly enjoyed the way that Myriad approached it, and although for a while I thought he was going to maybe even push for that smoke, but no, he sat it out, waited for his teammates to try and play the retake. Obviously, the retake didn't go well, but we're seeing good restraint from Team Spirit, despite having been on a good kind of streak of rounds and such. They're not letting the overconfidence get in there, which you see sometimes with teams, especially the CIS ones that we cover sometimes, Mike. Those games can be crazy. Yeah, 13-11. Heroic, they've bounced back with a round, but they need to keep that going. They can't afford to just get immediately rebounded on here by Team Spirit. Be another couple of rounds before they can think about dropping one, and well, Chopper drew the smoke. I was about to say the hat-trick perhaps in his hands, but no, he's not able to finish off down, but he does have a teammate here who's looking for a little bit more. It could be greedy if they get punished, that is, but it looks like it's going to deliver more frags and, well, deliver an end to the round. 14-11 for Team Spirit. Heroic are in trouble. Well, it should be 15 for Spirit.
It certainly should. They just made Banana their tomb. Sealed them in. Left them to die. Look at this. Here, the first, the second just looks clinical with it. Going forward there was not the play, although there wasn't really anywhere for them to go. No easy answers in that situation. They were drawn into fight, and the fight was their last. A timeout comes in here. Obviously, this is sort of do or die. You got to decide if you're going to force in how much you're going to invest to try and keep them off map point, or if you're going to play for OT. Seems like we're going for it. Guns out. Nades out. Equipment being picked up. What do we have at final sum total? 2 smokes. No, 4 smokes, sorry. Counting is hard. A single Molotov, a single HE, and 4 flashbangs. And on the other side of this, going down 1-0 in your series. This is an elimination game. Reminder, this is an upper bracket match. Whoever wins here progresses on. Whoever loses, well, they get another chance in the lower bracket. So it's not tournament fate on the line. And this is the first one. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but a lot rides on this round here on Inferno, at the very least. Cadian takes some space. They pushed Spirit back, and that's a victory in and of itself. Because as we've seen, if you leave Spirit to fight for the top of Banana, will fight they will, and you might come up the bloodier.
Yeah, they actually don't even want to hold the control. They just want to commit off of it. They do find an instant entry, but I don't know if they're going to expect that it was the initial 3-man stack. And while Chopper, when he has more than a 5-7, he can also deliver those frags. It's 2 on the M4 before he goes down. And, well, Dexter looked like he was about to fall as well, but he thankfully does escape with his life just about. They've got the numbers in terms of it being a 3-on-3, but as I mentioned, with Dexter low on that up, it's going to be a tough retake. If they don't get a kill quickly, a save actually could be considered. Although, when I say that, I realize most of them, except for Young, have enough to buy. So it probably is worth giving a go. And yeah, with the molly as well going in, it looks like they will see if they can flush any without hoping to give that opening forward. It's not being given over. Don't give it in. But, well, eventually it'll be brought to them, so they might have no choice. But so far, it goes well. They've traded it out. They know Dexter's around there as well. And, well, there's a quick finish from Nico. 14-12, 2 in the difference. And that's done it, I think. For everyone, no, sorry, it's only Young, as I said, that doesn't have enough. They'll get the buy, but if then this buy doesn't work, suddenly they are on an eco, and then Heroic would probably even be fine than Map Point.
Not an appetizing prospect, to be sure.
Solid team effort, I've got to say, from Heroic. Cadian obviously is a bit up there, but we've got to remember he had a fantastic first half and has dropped off a little bit since then. The others have all stepped up, though, and well, started giving over these past few rounds at least what they need.
That's part of what you expect from a switch to the 22-11 at one point. Now you think he's 24-18, so definitely a slowdown. But they're staying in it. They're hanging in here. There's not a lot of good CT side economy in this round in terms of utility that can be dropped, and they're already burning what they have. So it's going to rely on the guns. Dexter looking for it. This nade could be impactful from SDY, just as I talked about not having enough nades. That's going to be a good one. It is pretty chunky. A molly down. They're passing it. A little bit of damage done to Stom. The top brackets has been lost. Minute on the clock now. Continuing to drain that utility. Nothing left for Spirit. Now here comes the hit. Here comes the kills. STY doesn't need any more nades. He's done his work. 3 kills. A little bit of a tag, but he confirms the positioning of the player in the balcony. I think they have a read on this lane player as well. Well, now they definitely don't have to worry about the balcony. It's all just Cadian. And his player's rapping from every side. What a flick around, but he's down to 28. There's no way he's getting out of this. 35 seconds. He's just going to bail the heck out of there. Where does he go? Back towards A, it seems, but there's a player coming down the hallway. He's looking for this kill. He's looking for the spike. The Warriors just jumped out of the bedroom, and he will get caught. Magix puts him down. That's map point found for Spirit. There's no money in the tank, as you said, for Heroic, but they've got themselves in this.
Insane from Young right there. Does he just go by SDY now? Or does he still use the rep
I
name
think
as
he's
well?
generally shortened it.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but of course, it's the name he came in with. It was always a bit long, so I'm glad. I remember he used to actually use the full name at points.
I think it
was
also
a little
may
bit
have
to throw
been
in there during a quick sentence.
Make it friendlier for broadcasts and sponsors.
True, yeah.
Kind of situation. I think there were, as I recall, there was a tournament that required him to shorten it at one point. And I think from then on, he figured it was probably just easier to go with the shorter version. Nice nade. That's going to be TC's out already. The utility having impact, but not much ability to answer here. They're trying to clear back in towards top mid to punish this aggression, to punish the map control that Heroic has. They're doing a good job of it. The only damage-dealing util left is a single Molotov on Cadian for Heroic. But they do have plenty of smokes to attempt to take. And to condense some of these angles and allow the Deagles to get up close, allow the MAC-10 into the works. Where do they choose to take it? A little bit of presence here. Deal with the arch peak. Looks like they want to split onto B. Not a bad read, but they have to get past Chopper, and Chopper's been phenomenal this map. On they move, hoping he might get distracted by the presence on B itself. He does fall back a bit. This is the key kill. Smoke fades. He gets 1. He gets 2. All right, now it's very tough. Cadian, last alive. 1v5. What can he do? They've checked him so far. But he's found 1, looking for the second. Damage done. Dagster has to back off. 35 seconds. He's fighting. He's battling. He has the bomb. Chopper doesn't need to face him. He's trying to bait him through. The headshot doesn't realize how much damage has been. And there's going to be Degster to polish him off. 16-12. First map claimed by Spirit. Heroic put up a fight at the end, but they could not hang on. We will be back after this break.